Everybody, it's Lydia Deep Beauty, and by request of some of the people that I personally know, they wanted to see, I asked on Instagram which palette you wanted to see a tutorial on, and I had the LA Colors ones. I have three of them, all three I think. The Jewel Tone one, I just got the neutral one, if I can open it. Forgetting to discard this because I really don't care for it. But the neutral one or the neon one, which I have yet to swatch and use. This is the neon one. So I thought to just go ahead and do all of them, but not all at once. I'm going to be doing them one at a time. So to close off summer, because since it's August, I feel like summer is coming to a close. So I'm going to finish off with this. So I'm going to be posting this towards the end of the month, I think. But I wanted to use this palette to kind of, you know, finish off summer. And then I will be using a Jewel Tone one in fall and probably the neutral one around the holidays for a nice everyday holiday look. So without further ado, let's start this tutorial. I have already done my foundation and concealer. I haven't done my eyes at all. I've done my brows. I haven't powdered or anything, so I'm going to leave that to the tutorial. So let's get started with this beautiful neon palette.
Let's start off with some primer. This is the Rimmel Exaggerate Undercover Shadow Primer. And I'm putting it all over the lid. I find this is pretty close, but of course NARS is a lot better quality because it's high-end, but I find this is close to it, not super, like not perfect, but it's pretty dang close. It really does blend into my eyelids really well. I just love the doe foot applicator. Now I'm taking my NYX Jumbo Pencil in Milk, and I'm applying this all over my lids. And then I'm going to smudge it with my finger. This is just going to make the colors pop more. Then I'm going to add some to my lower lash line because I'm going to be applying colors on my lower lash line. And I'm just putting it very carefully close to my lashes, and then I'll smudge it out with my fingers once again. Then I'm going to spray my little brush here with some Smashbox primer water. And I'm going to be starting off with this corally orange shade. It's more on the orange side. Again, the pigmentation is not entirely perfect, but it is pretty nice. So I'm just going to pack this onto the inner corner of my eye. Then I'm going to take this kind of light pink shade, and I'm going to apply this after the orange. And I'm not putting too much onto my lid, like I'm not putting it all the way. I'm just putting it kind of like to half of my lid so that I can apply the other shades as well. Then I'm going to take this darker pink shade, and I'm going to apply this right after the lighter pink shade and pull it to not, kind of leaving the outer corner open. Now I'm taking this kind of warm based purple and repeating the process as I did all over my lid by putting this right after the darker pink shade on the outer corner. Now I'm going to take this cool purple shade, and I'm using the fluffy brush now, and I'm going to kind of put it on the outer corner, blending it in with that warmer purple, and then bringing it to the crease so that way everything looks blended and kind of goes together. Then I'm going to take this darker shade of purple, like a blue base purple, and I'm going to apply it into the crease to add more definition and add more darkness to the outer corner. Now I'm going to take this purple again, and I'm going to apply it over that darker purple to kind of warm it up a bit and blend everything together. Now I'm taking a clean fluffy brush and I'm just blending everything out so that it's nice and smooth. Then I'm going to take this darker blue shade, and I'm going to apply this to my lower lash line on the outer corner. I'm going to take this teal blue, like almost like a baby blue, and as you can see I kind of didn't really film how I winged it out a little bit. Well, I decided to wing it out a lot more, and then I'm just applying this light blue shade to the middle portion of my lower lash line. Now I'm going to take this more metallic teal baby blue, and I'm actually going to go over that because I felt like it needed a little bit more teal in it. Now I'm going to take this green shade and I'm going to apply this to the inner corner. Not too much into the tear duct area, but like, you know, like in the inner portion of the lower lash line, and blend it with that teal. Now I'm going to take this white shade and I'm going to apply that in the inner corner to brighten things up. Now it's time to use an eyeliner. This is a Sephora waterproof eyeliner in brown, I believe, and I'm applying this to the waterline just to kind of add a little bit more darkness to the look, but not too much, because I feel like black would have been way too much, and I'm just tight lining with that too. Then I decided to put it on the lash line very closely, just to kind of put more darkness on my eyes and to make it not look too bright. I've already set my face with powder, and now I'm going to use the Kat Von D blush, and this is in Bellini. And I'm just going to smile really weird and apply it to the apples of my cheeks. Now let's warm things up with Model Co's bronzer. I like this bronzer because it has a lot of warmth in it and it has a little bit of glitters in it, but I like how it really does, it's not too dark, it's just the right amount. Now I'm going to use this Essence eyeshadow as a highlighter. It has, one half is champagne kind of pale gold, and the other half is a iridescence white, and I love the way they look when you mix it together as a highlighter, so you can do double duty with this eyeshadow. Now using the Rimmel Scandaleyes Rockin Curves mascara and applying my mascara. Now I'm using Colourpop's Ultra Matte Lip Color in Trap. I wanted the lips to be more muted so that I didn't take too much from the eyes. I wanted the eyes to be the star of the look. And I'm working one lip at a time because I find that works much better. So here's the completed look. Very bold and very, very easy to do. Super affordable. I actually love the way this came out.
Okay, so this is the completed look. I decided to go with like a nude kind of lip. It's a little bit more on the gray side, so it kind of balances out the real bold colors in my eyes. And I have to say that the pigmentation on this particular palette, I mean, I used the Jewel Tone before. I filmed a tutorial on that one, but I never got around to posting it or editing it. So I did a smoky eye with the Jewel Tone one, and the pigmentation was beautiful. But this one was a little bit less pigmented than I thought. So I'm going to swatch these for you really quick, and that way you can see the colors swatched and see how much pigmentation, you know what I mean, I'm talking. Okay, so here's the first row. As you can see, the most pigmented color is this brown shade. This is the top row. The silvery white shade, these are all shimmers. So this shade is actually not as pigmented. You have to kind of build it. And then this one is pretty pigmented. It's a nice pale gold. This pink is actually pretty pigmented as well. This pink was actually more like a lighter corally pink, and it didn't show up as much as well as that coral orange shade, I guess it is. That one didn't show up as well. The green, these two actually did show pretty well. I didn't use this one in the look, but I used these three and this one as well, and this in my inner corner. So they're pretty pigmented, but you have to work with them and build them up. Alright, this is the bottom row. as you can see, they're way more pigmented. They show up. I think the lighter shades, like the pinks, the coral, the greens, are a little bit too light in pigmentation. But this is that pale. I didn't use this shade, actually. I actually used it at first, but then I didn't like the way it looked, so I used this one in conjunction, well, on top of it, on my lower lash line, and this one's actually really pretty metallic teal. This blue is actually really, really nice. And then there's another blue that looks a little bit darker than this blue right here. And then you've got your cool tone purple, which has, as you can see up close, there's a lot of fallout on there. Yeah, they're very powdery. This one is a warm toned fuchsia purple, and then you've got your neutral purple, and then you've got the really dark bluish purple, and that one's actually pretty pigmented. I use that in my outer corner and a little bit into the crease. So overall, the eyeshadows are, I mean, they're not top quality, like, you know, I'm going to compare it to, let's say, my, trying to look, to the Electric palette from Urban Decay. I can't really open this because my Slow Burn, I don't know if you can see that, it broke. I don't know how it broke, but it just broke. So I haven't really touched this, but the pigmentation on these are super pigmented. I mean, super pigmented, and the quality is wonderful. However, you're working with something that's high-end, and then I did compare them. I did a video, and I'll link that down below, comparing that versus the Wet n Wild Venice Beach collection. I don't know where I put them right now, so I can't really show you what they were, but again, I'll link that video down below. But this palette is pretty good. It doesn't have the same colors, of course, as Urban Decay's Electric palette, but it has that neon effect, and it does have some neutrals in here, but they are all shimmers. It would be nice if these were matte so that you could have a base to work with the rest of them. But like I said, all of these palettes are pretty shimmery. I used the Jewel Tone one in a look, and I'm actually going to just do a fall-inspired Jewel Tone look instead. So I'm going to redo that tutorial. But again, these are all very shimmery, but the pigmentation in this one is awesome. I love it. I love it. I have not messed with my neutral one, but I did swatch it in a video, and I'll link that down below, of all the Target clearance things I found. But this is a neutral palette. Again, there are no matte shades in these palettes. They're all shimmery. So this is the neon look I came up with. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you guys stay tuned for the fall ones that I'm going to do, which will be the Jewel Tone palette from LA Colors. And if you have not checked out your local Target, check it out. They have them there for $3.99. It's regular Targets. I have not seen them at Super Targets because I have 2 Super Targets and 1 regular, and I found it at the regular, not the Super Target. So if you haven't seen them, go buy your regular Target if you have one and see if they're there. Pick one up just to try it out. It's $3.99, $4 for 16 shadows. It's not a bad deal. They have super cool makeup in that section, super cheap nail polishes, lipsticks. Mascara quality is not that great, but the I had a small one. I can't remember what I did with it, but it's good for my bottom lashes, and it's $1.49. So I mean, that's pretty good if you want something real cheap. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.